Hello everyone. Let us talk about the water wars that are going on in the Indian Ocean. So let us first consider what is water wars. Water wars are the fights and conflicts that are in the water bodies. They are of two types. Number one, the freshwater wars, like the wars which are in fresh water, like the rivers. For example, one example, and we are all aware about that example is the Indus River. Indus River is a classic example for freshwater war because India claims water of Indus River, most of the water, and also Pakistan is in need of that water to run their country, and they are because of the fresh water, because fresh water is important for agriculture and for different purposes, and also the hydropower generation is also done through fresh water. So due to these two aspects, water wars are they are very common between two neighboring countries. But the other kind of war which we are going to talk about is the ocean water wars. Ocean water wars are due to several reasons, because number one, the trade is most of the trade in the world right now is conducted through the oceans. Number two is the massive oil and natural gas reserves in the oceans. Number three is that the marine life is very useful for the fishermen of different countries, and hence different countries claim the waters. And also another reason is that there are a lot of minerals. Most of the minerals found in the world are the minerals from the waters, the oceans. And also another reason is the territorial claim, like China right now. China claims the entire South China Sea, and hence it also claims the islands over there. So territorial aggression is also a factor why countries need ocean water in their control. So today, let us consider specifically about Indian Ocean, and what are the few water wars going on in the Indian Ocean. Number one, and the major one, is the India-Sri Lanka dispute. India and Sri Lanka had different agreements in 1972 and 1974 about the waters and the islands between the two countries, but still there are many disputes, because because um, uh, because of the fishing sector. In uh, in the fishing sector, many times it is seen that the Indian fishermen are caught and jailed in the Sri Lankan jails, and then by the diplomatic pressure, Indian government tries to get those fishermen back to India. And many times it is also seen that the Sri Lankan Navy kills the Indian fishermen, and for such events there are many protests in the states of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Hence, it is a very big issue that the government has to deal with, because India did a lot of favors to Sri Lanka in terms of territorial claim, like the Kachativu Islands were gifted to Sri Lanka in the 1960s, and many times, but still there are many times very high amount of disputes between the Gulf of Mannar and the Park Strait. And the reason behind this is because the majority of the Indian fishermen are with the trawlers, and trawlers are highly equipped uh, fishing vessels, fishing ships for Indian fishermen. But on the other hand, the Sri Lankan fishermen are not that equipped. So Sri Lanka always wants that the uh, marine life in that area, in the region of Park Strait and Gulf of Mannar, is utilized by their fishermen. But due to the uh, heavy efficiency of the trawlers which Indian fishermen are having, uh, then most of the resources are used by the Indian fishermen due to the technology, and that's where the dispute arises. So both the government need to sit together and get some solution out of this, like making some tangible boundaries, and also regulating their own fishermen. And also by diplomacy, the Sri Lanka and India have to give back their fishermen who are caught while fishing into other countries' waters. So such solutions must be there for this problem. Another dispute that is in the Indian Ocean is again with India and uh, Pakistan. That is the Sark Creek issue. So Sark Creek is a long water strip of 96 kilometers in near to the Run of Kutch in the Gujarat. So this is an strip which is very very important for both the countries. Currently, India is holding majority of this Sir Creek region, and India is benefiting from it also because there are a lot of benefits of that region. Number one, there is a lot of trade that goes through that region. For trade purposes and for port building purposes. That area is very good and very beneficial for India, and because it connects India to the Arab countries through Arabian Sea, and it is very important so that we are connected to the Arab countries because a lot of trade is done between India and Arab countries in terms of agricultural goods and gems and jewelry. So a lot of trade goes on in these countries, and that is very important for India. And also there is another factor to it that there is a lot of oil and natural gas resources found in that area because in the sea generally there are some resources and but there is some unexplored and full of potential region there where a lot of oil and natural gas can be found and that can be utilized for the benefit of the country, that is India. But Pakistan always claims that region and claims that region allegedly because according to the international rules in the if if a river or a strip of water is dividing two countries, then the deepest point of that water body is considered as the midline of as the, is considered as the international border. So India is following that only. India is up to the rules, and India is uh, claiming the right water strip. But Pakistan allegedly gives some reference to the theories by the Britishers and try to claim that region. But those claims are many times baseless and rejected in the international forums as well. Also, that region is important because of the fishing purposes. In so so it is somewhat related, very similar to the case with the Sri Lanka and India, that the fishermen are sometimes caught and sometimes killed by the Pakistani Navy, and sometimes the Pakistani fishermen are caught by the Indian Navy. So that is also a dispute because that area also have a very huge potential in the fishery sector. Another dispute in the Indian Ocean is the Horn of Africa. Talking about the Horn of Africa, so that is the northeastern part of Africa, in which there are countries like Kenya and Somalia. So Kenya and Somalia are two countries who have been to the loggerhead from a long time. There are civil wars in these two countries, and a lot of disputes are there in these two countries. And there is a dispute about a 1 lakh square kilometer water body that both of these countries claim, and due to that region's economic significance because that water body is important because there are a lot of resources like oil, natural gas, and a lot of marine life is there. So the fishermen always gets benefited from there. But the region is disputed, and there are a lot of and only that amount of region creates a high amount of dispute between the two neighboring countries, that are Kenya and Somalia. And in various international forums, these countries are always at loggerhead, and this relation of Kenya and Somalia are said to be one of the most hostile relations between two countries in the world. And the last dispute in the Indian Ocean that today I'm going to address is the Somalia piracy. So Somalia has been a country with a lot of civil wars in the past, and due to that, a lot of militant groups are there in Somalia, and also with the backing of such militant groups, there are a lot of pirates in the Indian Ocean from the Somalia side, and hence it is very difficult to trade in that region because that region is very useful if used for the trade purposes. Like India can export its goods to the European countries through that region only. But that region has from a long time has been under the control of many pirates, and there are a lot of pirate attacks. Almost 300 pirate attacks were observed till 2015 in that region. But due to the regular efforts and due to the efficient backings of various international forums and the Somalia government as well, there has been a drastic decline in the number of pirate attacks, and hence that area is moving towards a betterment. And this is a thing that will be addressed, that will be completely eradicated. The piracy will be completely eradicated from the Somalia Indian Ocean waters. So that was about water wars in the Indian Ocean. Thank you very much.